Well, the game is rigged against us. And like I said, I had the gun charge, never got caught with a gun. I ended up beating that charge, like you said, a jailhouse inmate, lawyer. He started working with a person that's a paralegal on the street that his family knew. He beat that case for me, 924G. Constructive possession of a firearm. I never been seen with the gun, and they still gave me 7 years. And I tell people now that the laws are so stacked against you that most likely once you get under that radar, you going to prison and you ain't gonna beat them. And I tell people, if you don't have the resources to get a good lawyer, that gonna hurt you. If you don't have no funds to pay for it, gonna hurt you. And once you get into that system, it's hard to get out because you're not gonna find the case law to help your case, like you said. It's not gonna happen. Everybody, when I would look up in the Fourth Circuit, almost all them cases, people had lost. If fortunate that I was paying this guy cigarettes, coffee, and stamps, jailhouse lawyer, he did the paperwork, got me back in court. I just had to get another lawyer on the street to represent it, and they threw the 7 years out. So it's really hard to get back.
But check that out, though. See what I'm saying? Jailhouse lawyer. Now, when you say jailhouse lawyer to an attorney on the street, they talk shit about him. Yes. Oh, that guy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But the jailhouse lawyers are winning. I've seen guys beat life. I've seen guys, doing 30, go back to court on some stuff, get immediately released. The jailhouse lawyers, but when they find out who that guy is, they keep moving him around. He'll be helping somebody, and they ship him out to ship him over here because that's the guy that's winning. Those are the people who are helping. And like you said, these kids out here, young men, their education is probably barely GED status. They don't know what a Black's Law Dictionary is. They don't know how to shepherdize. And one thing that, a lot of these guys don't take in consideration, a lot of people who are doing high-powered crime, whether it's the mob, the cartel, the Yakuza, the triads, these different cliques, they always have lawyers that's part of their clique.
Right.
So they got people who are deep into the law. So if anybody gets caught up, they're not hiring outside the clique. They got people internally to where we're businessmen. This guy's going to be our representation. This guy's, you know what I mean? People in the hood, they don't know a goddamn lawyer. They never went to school with anybody who's a lawyer. No, there's no uncle that's a lawyer. There's no family doctor. There's no family attorney. So you guys are just out. You're getting ate up. You're getting ate up. It's like me and you going to the playground, and we're going to go to the 6th grade playground, play soccer, and we kicking the ball hard. We, getting people. Dude, it ain't no competition.
Wow. Now, I'm glad you said that because, like I said, I had 3 attorneys. John Potts, when that case was over, he bailed out. Greg Campbell bailed out. Sheldon Wittenberg, he had so much pride. He was mad. He took my appeal free. But guess what? I didn't know any one of them guys. People, get them guys. They Jews. Hey, you beat this case. I'm hearing it from other people. I ain't did no investigation. They don't know me. They didn't like people who was hustling. They might have a family member that got hooked on drugs. So like you said, when you get to the Italians, the mob, the cartel, they bring people up in their family who been with them from the day they started hustling. Prime example, I was locked up with John Gotti brother. And the first thing he said, and he ain't racist, when you look at John and brothers, they black, they really like the hood Italians. Because Gambino was down there also. So we was at McKean, Pennsylvania. So Jeannie was real quiet, but Jeannie kind of liked me because I can play basketball. I was really aggressive, and we'd been in the dorm. So one day we just having a conversation, and I was getting frustrated about my appeal going through. He said, look, man, he said, what y'all black guys mess up at, y'all don't have attorneys that really work for y'all. And he said, another thing, y'all don't have resources. He said, since I've been in prison, I've been getting the same amount of money. My family been taken care of the same way. I get my visit, and they kindly keep paying the attorney trying to get the life sentence off me. He said, once you deplete your resources out there, it's over. He said, and these attorneys would never start working for me because they work for my family. He said, that's why y'all fail. I like, damn. I said, man, you're 100% correct. My brother didn't know the attorney he had. I didn't know him. He said, our attorney have a relationship to us because they work for us. They actually just work for us. I'm like, wow. Because I was in there with, you heard of Supreme, right? Supreme team?
Yeah.
We was all down. It was me, Supreme, Jeannie Gotti, Gambino, little skinny Joy Molino. He the Philadelphia crime boss. He got a podcast now. Frankie Polizio, the Pizza Connection out of New York. Ronnie Bump. He was the actual dude that had a Supreme team. He was the supplier and the Chamber family. They had an Arkansas. You ever heard of them? That's the one they tried to say they made the movie after. New Jack City. BJ and Otis Chamber. And also, this gonna get you. You seen BMF, right? The guy, K9, me and him was beefing. The one that Big Meech actually got the plug from. The one that supposed to have been telling the cartel. Yeah. Me and him actually had a real beef. So that just tell you how much I was out there.
So for the time you were doing out there on the East Coast, man, I mean, and being around like really high powered dudes, what was some of the game you got that you realized you had overlooked or hadn't been exposed to prior to getting locked up? I know for myself,
good question.
I got around some OGs, and I had a older white guy and an older brother, and they used to point things out to me. And these are things as a young man on the street I never paid attention to. But as I went through my bid, I always looked for these little idiosyncrasies in people or character traits, and I stayed away from people I couldn't learn from. Who'd you learn from in there, and who gave you the rawest game? And being that you were around, like I wasn't around a lot of mob. I was in the same unit as Carmine Persico, but I didn't really have a lot of conversations with him. I just seen him, talk to him here and there, said hi, gave him respect, but I never talked to him about anything. But for you got to conversate with these guys. What were some of the things that really put you on the next level that you saw like, damn, man, this shit is, it's a whole, there's levels to this shit?
Good question. Now, it was a guy. We didn't know how powerful this dude was. He was from Thailand. His English was kind of broken, but we know he was a heroin dealer, but we didn't know under his indictment that he was charged with an 848 RICO, and he put to being the biggest heroin dealer in North America. And then another guy named Dwayne Davis and Doc Davis. You can see them on YouTube also. So this is some of the best game that I ever got from, well, I'm going to call the guy Thai, because he's from Thailand. Thai told me, we talking. He said, what you need to do, if you ever get out and decide to get back, doing legal activity, make sure you have a business as a front. He said, just get you a restaurant. He said, you get a restaurant, you can say, I sold X amount of plates, and I charge X amount of dollars for the plates, and I pay taxes on them. He said, most of you black guys that I know who are hustling in New York, y'all buying cars, y'all buying girls, y'all buying jewelry, but y'all don't have a business, so when the feds come in, they take everything because you can't show that you paid taxes. And he was right. I never paid taxes. I never had credit. I never had a credit card. So once he told me that, I'm like, damn, if I made it would have had a business, even if it was a front, they wouldn't have took everything because I could show that I was a business owner and I worked. John Gotti never got anything taken. Gene Gotti, Ty didn't. Even the cartel, you see the movie, they keep all their assets because they had business, even though they might be shell business. And he said that was a lot of black people never established a business front to pay taxes to the government.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off, but another thing too is one of the major differences of like whether it's like the cartel or like you said the Asian guys or the mob or the Russians, they always have ties back home. See, they're international. Black people here have no other domicile. They have no place to go to. It's America and that's it. You don't know anybody in Algeria, Nigeria, Cameroon, Uganda. You don't have nobody in Dubai, or you don't have no other place of refuge. You have no connect. Where like a lot of these dudes, man, they might be in Monaco, they might be over in Dubai, they might be kicking it in Morocco. Dude, they'll just, they're on a different level, man. And I always say, like when I talk to people and I see organization, and I'm not trying to be racial, but I am keeping it 100. Like the blacks, as far as they're the most unorganized, bro, in this thing. You know, they're not organized like everybody else, bro. Not like when it comes to structure, you'll have a dude he's tied in, and maybe he's a plug for everybody else because he knows the cool Mexican dude, or he's got an Asian partner. But as it trickles down past him, these dudes down here are raggedy, bro.
Yes, yeah. And the only time that we are really organized, this the Fed, because the Feds are so geographical, is only in prison. The DC gonna be for Ohio. Ohio gonna be for New York. New York gonna be for Philly. And that's the only time. On the streets, we had no structure because, me just saying it, a lot of our brothers started getting jealous. They started getting envy when they start despising you when they see you making a lot of money. When you see the mob, the Italian, the Chinese, the triads, them people don't have a jealous spite because they know their time gonna come. And they look at each leader as a father figure. And our gang, when they looking at each leader as a come up, then I'm gonna try to take you out the way. And they don't want to learn and listen. But in there, they got a structure, so they taught every day how to be a leader. You try to teach these guys now how to be a leader, or try to tell them what to do, it's gonna be a lot of animosity and a lot of hate. So us being organized, it'll never happen. And I think that comes from back with the Willie Lynch syndrome. You pit one brother against another brother, it'll be destruction. And that's what they doing right now. So if you're in the game, you're not going to have a loyal soldier no more. It's almost impossible.
You know what, though? Even going back before Willie Lynch, if you look at tribalism, I mean, dude, literally, they would have the Watutsus and Yusis cutting each other's arms off.
Right.
They would go through, and, you know, in Nigeria, the one guy came in, he raped all these people, killed everybody. I mean, these are people that look like him. So you can't even say it's Europeans, because Europeans could not even go into Africa. They weren't strong enough. They needed strong Africans to bring the weaker ones to them so they can take them and enslave them. So we can't even say it's the white, you Caucasian, the Europeans, because the Europeans, if they went in there, they would have got slaughtered. Shaka Zulu, all them dudes were, man, they were strategic, bro. The more they were hard, they had to partner up with the stronger Africans in order to gain access. And then they're like, hey, man, damn, what is this over here? You got all this jewelry on. We can trade, you know. They were very calculating. Brothers was like, oh, okay, we just going to come up. And then they exploit everybody. That's why even right now, if you look in some of them countries, they got all the oil and all this. But then you got a rich family. They're worth 500 million. And these people down there are poor, bro. They're not even getting, you know what I mean? They're not even getting $300 a month. Right. So the African culture, I don't know how far back it goes, but it's like, damn, bro, even in Africa, now they're seeing these guys starting to uprise and feeling like we can try to do something. But even now, they still come in, and you look at like South Africa, the whites that they kicked out of there, they're doing better than the blacks, because the blacks can't work together. They still can't work together. Right. So, you know, it's like you said, it's a mental thing. And I don't know where, you know, at some point, there's got to be an accountability to say, hey, man, you know, we got to have a structure here. And also going back to what you said about Italians, the triads and the mob and the cartel, is that they respect intelligence. Like, the guy doesn't have to be the strongest dude on the yard. He ain't got to be the hardest dude. A lot of times, those guys don't even have to be on the record as being the killer. But they're hella smart. They're business smart. They got relationships with everybody. This dude over here, he knows the Japanese. He knows the Koreans. He knows he's a politician. And that's value, bro. He doesn't have to beat nobody up. If you touch him, he got some goons that'll smash you. Right. You see what I'm saying? It's not about brute, like, oh, man, this dude, he's Big D. He's, you know, lifting all the weight. He's doing this. Dude, if Big D moved on OG Sal, dude, there would be a bunch of dudes who would wipe him out. Right. And I'm glad you said it, because when I was locked up, most of the more powerful guys on the compound were the smart guys. And you had a couple of tough guys, but people overlook them because it's going to always be another tough guy. But when you find a person that's brilliant, those are the ones that I think are followed. Those are the ones I follow. And I think the disconnect in the African-American community, I think when the crack cocaine came into the system, then we start falling apart. Because you look from Reconstruction to the Jim Crows to the Renaissance movement to the Garvinites,
to the Moorish Temple, the Nation of Islam, to the civil rights and the Jim Crow movement, we had power in our community. Remember, we ran Harlem. We ran down south. And I ain't saying per se that we had the politicians, but we had the resources because we had the jobs. We know how to, we were blacksmiths. We were carpenters. We know how to fix cars. Everything that needed to be done after slavery, the black man could do. But when the laws started changing in the 70s and the 80s, we started getting on the drugs. Now the next generation, grandma had to raise 8 kids because daddy in jail, mom on drugs. I'm fighting with my brothers and siblings, my cousin in one household for the last biscuit or last hamburger. I get back in society, it's about me. So I think that when everything broke down, because before that, the black population, the black community had love for each other. We policed our community. We watch each other back. Now it's about me. I'm going to grab you down or I'm going to get you out the way. So that's why I think it got messed up when the crack cocaine came to the streets. And we'll never get back to that, where we're going to have that loving community called. Most kids now might be 35 years old with a 17 or 18-year-old kid. You're not raising them. The girls on the street, they telling your daughter that you got to hustle off this dude to be with him. Then you telling your son that he got to work this girl to get some money. So we have no value system no more. And then you look at other races, they still have a value system because it still go from grandparents to parents, then to the children. Now they go from the children to the parent to grandparents. Because like when I look at podcasts, and I'm going to say the name on here, I hope I don't get you into trouble. Like when I see the people like Whack 100 and all these guys talking on these podcasts, it really hurt me because you guys driving a wedge between other brothers in the community. You supposed to be the big OG. When I see your podcast, man, you always freaking positive. You always positive. I get to the other podcasts, they letting these other podcasters make us beef with each other. No, when is the love gonna come in where you got an OG like yourself, where they call you on there and they talk about unity? You got talking about on Paru, on this, on it. Come on, man. Now you got a little kid looking up to this. That of you being a father figure and telling this man to get a trade or go to college, and we come together as one. You keep being that division. Then you go on another platform, they telling our women not to even like the black man no more. So now there's another disconnect because she ain't gonna trust her man to run the household. But we need more people like you, Big Herc. They're gonna be online and people gotta start and say, hey, let's interview this man. Because every time I see your podcast, no matter you talking about prison, it always turns out to a good discussion about what you can do at the prison, how you can be successful at the prison, what you can accomplish after prison. They trying to tell us to go back to prison. They trying to tell us to hate.
You know what? You made an interesting point right there too, and I've told people this before that the reason, like our channel, we try to give a platform that doesn't glorify, but that leads by example. But I look at these guys, like you said, you're right. Every time they go on, it's a beef. It's like this guy looked at this guy's paperwork. He's saying that this guy, I'm like, dude, I've never seen so much gossip and beef going on. I'm like, why are you always stirring up some shit?
Mm-hmm.
You always stirring up some shit. Look, do you see the biker groups doing this? You don't see the mob coming on there like, doing this. You damn sure don't see no Asian gangs, no Asian mobsters, no Russians, no Armenians. You don't see any Jewish on there stirring up with their shit.
Never.
These guys are doing crime so high, business so high, you would never know. Like you said, either professionals, but you see the brothers on there, yeah, this dude, he whooped, I see him, it's on site, and he blah, 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 and dead homies. And I'm like, man, this is crazy, man. Everything's about us destroying each other. And those podcasts, these guys, they are, I feel like plants, they allow them to bubble, and they get a pass because most of them aren't black. They're not black guys talking all this shit. If there's a black guy going on all this paperwork, somebody would have killed him already. But the white guy, they can say all this stuff. They'll bring up paperwork, they'll stir up the pot, and they do that over and over again. And the black guys buy into it because they want to get the views and the whatever, the likes. And I'm looking at this shit like, dude, they're just playing you, man. It's no, like you said, there's no unity. There's no coming together. And dude, it's like the destruction continually. And I was like, you know, I get in my car sometimes now and I listen to country music, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I listen to country music and I'm listening to the stories about heartbreak, family, you know, son going into the military, not coming home, you know, so-and-so getting arrested, but he's a good guy. He's going to make it out, take care of his family. Dude, I'd never hear no country music about I'm gonna murder everybody in the hood.
Right.
You're a hoe. You better do this. And you know, I'm gonna take your man. I'm having sex with him, and I'm gonna give him. I don't care. We gonna get ready to debate. We're gonna do this. I ain't never heard them talking
Right.
crazy about any of this stuff in the black community. I've never seen them fronting off about destroying their race. I never hear that in country music, bro. It's good messages. The music, the tone, the vibration is relaxing. You're like, there's a meaning. I'm not saying there's not black music with it, because I listen to a lot of Otis Redding, Al Green, Isley Brothers, Commodores, Brothers Johnson, and I be listening like, damn, bro, you know, some of this stuff, man, these dudes, you listen Marvin Gaye, you're like, bro, we don't have, where's the soul at? They stole the soul in the black community, bro.
Right.
They destroyed the soul, and the people they give the bag to, they perpetuate the soul. It's like, man, you're 50-something years old. Why are you still talking about cripping? How many people have died from cripping, bro? How many people have died from cripping?
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Now think about it. Eight guys are coming to this shop, and a lot of them still gangbanging at 35, 40, talking about their street dude. I'm like, dude, you can't get no 401k from this. You get no pension, and you get no retirement. Retirement, unalignment, or imprisonment. And I'll be like, why would you want to put yourself in this situation where you know it's destructive? And then Raymond and all them guys from California, they were teenagers that put this together. Y'all still following an ideology of some teenagers from the 60s and 70s? Y'all dude got to be stuck on stupid. You still talk about Free Hoover. Y'all still talk about some people who made these gangs at that time, and you still doing it. When are you guys going to wake up and see how many good brothers and sisters had died for an unjust cause? You don't own the neighborhoods. You never own the community. You had no power just on 5 square blocks. That's all your fake power is. And then when the goons come, the police, you put your hands up. But if I come, you come and hunt me down like I'm an animal. So when are you guys going to wake up? And then the music. When I was growing up, because I'm a 60 baby, born in 1965. When I was growing up, Marvin Gaye, War, what is it good for? You know, every song had a paint a picture for us. Every TV show told us about education. Love your people. Do this. Do that. Go to college. School days. Now, you sit there and let them, even the rap music. All the rap music is a party music or painting a story like Public Enemy. Telling them what the police are going to do to us. NWA, painting a picture of the destruction of what the task force in California going to do. Now you got these guys out here telling my little homies, my children, my grandchildren, hey man, go kill your op. Kill the mama. Sell drugs. Get high. They made our kids assassins, killers, you can't trust them. And they making them all Alex, and they making my daughters ladies of the night. This from our music that we letting these people put in the airway. But you don't hear rock and roll like you said. You don't hear Taylor Swift and them saying that. But all our rappers, even the females, Sexy Red and them got to show the most raunchiest stuff in the world that my child or grandchild got to see. And we patronizing this stuff. The BET Award, that was so ghetto, bro. We went from wearing suits, man, to wearing thongs on national TV. That's how low we had went as a people, and they keep promoting it. Let's promote it. Lil Tyrone gonna be in prison. We got him too. He gonna be working in the factory here for us. You know, free slave labor. They know they got us. Cause it's hard to revert the kids back because most of the kids now are the breadwinners in society. I'm 16. My mother and father getting high. I'm paying all the bills, so you can't tell me nothing. And then the music, it making them have power because they can go get that little tool. But you know, Big Hurt, once they get in jail, I used to call our guy coming, hey, what's up, little panties? Ain't no gun in here now, bro. They don't see that big part. After they make you sell your soul by listening to the music, then you're gonna sell your other part of your life to prison. Now you're in there by yourself and you ain't got that tool. So that's why I tell people, man, we got to be mindful when we let our kids get on social media. We got to be mindful when we are leaders out here, even you don't want to be a leader. It's still your duty as a black man, as a father figure, to make sure these kids are going in the right direction. Even you out here doing wrong, you still tell them to do right. That's why when I looked at your podcast, it's all positivity. We talking about prison, but you're still giving a positive light to it. And then I see your success. I know about you being in the industry with all the women. I know about you being in prison, what you did. But you know what? It makes me feel good because you're successful now. I say, if he can do it, why can't I do it? So I look at the people like that, even though I'm older than you, but it still gives me some life to be able to look up to somebody that I can follow and I can be like. And a lot of people don't want that nowadays. Oh, man, you can't tell me that you old. Man, a young person can teach me a lot. And you taught me a lot. And cut up people like the Wallows. Him and Gilly. Gilly be wavering. But Wallow always keep it straight up. Leave prison alone, leave the streets alone, get an education, do this. He always the same person. And I look up to that young man. And I need more people like that even in my life because I still had demons that I'm working on. And it's still hard for me some days to wake up and see that I'm trying to make a change because I still waver. But I know if I stay focused, man, if I can grab one kid or one individual, man, and he can listen and take some of these jewels in, man, I did my job for God. And that we need more people like that, more positivity, less negativity.